Hello, everyone. This is Układ, the YouTube channel of Polish magazine about international relations. And today we are at Warsaw Security Forum. I have a great pleasure to host Vitaliy Balashov, Deputy Minister of Digital Transformation of Ukraine. Hello, sir. Hello. So, Mikhail Fedorov, your boss, actually, he recently gave an interview to Reuters agency, and he said that Ukraine has a trove of data collected by the drones, which can be used for training AI weapons systems, and it's very, very valuable. So how do you perceive it? Because he said Ukraine can use it as a card in negotiations with partners or allies.
I can disagree because we have a lot of data because it's obvious for me, to be honest, that we have a lot of data because to using the IT words, unfortunately, we in Ukraine now we have a production, right? So we can make some innovations, we can try to something, but productions in the east of in south of Ukraine for now. And so of course this technology works, and they generated a lot of data, and so of course we collect this data and analyze this data to we are applying the full cycle of this data life cycle to make our decisions and decisions our military staff, our generals, our civilians, our politicians make more data driven, right? Because this is as we know, this is a good way with some proofs of cybersecurity. So yeah, we collect data, of course.
So do you think that this is actually the warfare of the future? So drones based on AI systems?
This is not future, actually. This is
present.
Contemporary. This is present. This is reality. It was future maybe several years ago, but already 2 years ago, in Ukraine, we already had some at least tries, at least POs, proof of concepts, where we just because we have an issue. Yeah, our drones had some limited radius of radio horizon, and after this radio horizon, drone lost the control. But this is not a rare case when operator of drone can see the target. But radio horizon is over, and so that's why a lot of guys and civilian and military guys, because we know that our army, it's not just a military people society, because a lot of guys in the army, at least yesterday, 2 years ago, they was a IT senior in JavaScript senior engineer or something.
Now they are soldiers.
They were not soldiers, and now they can apply these skills to do it. And they just solved this issue, and we find these issues continuously, and we solve it continuously. And this is our process.
I know this is not the main field of your, this is not your area in the ministry, but I would like to ask you if Ukraine is going to share this technology, this data with allies like Poland, for example. Do you want to cooperate in producing drones based on AI, for example? Do you think that this is possible? And do you see willingness, eagerness to do this in the Polish side?
Decision about share or not share, it's will be done not by me. I believe that because we have military, we have politicians, stock gates. We have to make this decision. I can share only my own subjective opinion, right? That this is nothing new. That sharing this data with our partners, who helps us a lot, actually, and we are very thankful for this bit. Poland actually supports Ukraine from the very beginning, from the first day and till today. And I believe that sharing some experience, some lessons learned, right? Some data. It can be done by the interoperability system. Actually, we talk a lot today about interoperability via clouds and so on, and it may help our experience here through this IT technologies and sharing data can improve Poland's and our and other partners actually. So I believe, of course, it not just can be, it should be.
Hopefully our government is interested in that as well. So your main field of expertise and your activity within the ministry is cybersecurity. So what kind of problems can you encounter as a country which is at war with Russian Federation? Because we, especially in the eastern flank of NATO, we can meet some problems, some hybrid attacks and so on, but I assume it's way more difficult in the country which is actually in full-scale war with Russia.
Problems in cyber. It's sometimes it's just a cyber, sometimes it's not just a cyber. So sometimes issues in cyber can make impact in a physical world, and this is that we have to prevent. We can't prevent it all the time. We have issues with it, and we have problems with it. But we learn. So you may hear about attacks on our civil. Actually, mostly it's civil infrastructure. You can find a lot of information about the mobile operator, the telecom operator was down about 1 week or something like that. Actually, it makes impact not so big as we can imagine, because in Ukraine we have three main mobile operators. So we have competitors, we have market, and we don't need to show our passport to buy a SIM card, right?
Yeah.
So most of people just go to the closest shop and buy new SIM card for this 1 weekend and so on. So it was not catastrophic, but it makes a big impact actually, because we have to remember that some IoT devices and a lot of devices works also on mobile, so it's become a big issue. So what I can share more about cyber?
Yes. How about protecting the data actually you collect? Because we were talking about the data collected by the drones, for example, but also every country stores a lot of data about their citizens. And I think this is a very fragile set of data, especially at war. So how do you actually protect it? Do you build some data centers in your country, or maybe you're considering building them somewhere else, maybe in Europe or other areas where they can be safe?
This is actually it's open question, right? This is my job, and we are working on national cloud policy, and this policy have to separate what data we have to store on local data centers, what data we can share, not share, but what we can store on hyperscalers like AWS, Azure, Google, Oracle, anyone. So we have to do the right classification. We have to provide the right requirements to data centers, right, who store this data, and so on. So we are on this process. We have a lot of results right now, but it's not finished right now. But we have some issue with it, and I believe that this is a kind of unique challenge, because in a lot of countries already solved it. But and we can just copy and paste this model, but we can't, because in Ukraine we don't have the data centers of hyperscalers, and our local business who provides cloud services, they are absolutely okay. We work with them. It's also in action, but war shows the new risks. They are under the risk of missiles attack just in the data center, and the risk on our energy systems that can, as a supply chain, disable it. So we have to find the right balance, and we are working on it.
And how about the services that the state provides to its citizens? Because this is what we hear, that Ukraine is very digitalized. And do you think that war somehow contributed to it? Because you need to be able to do more, let's say, state obligations as a citizen online instead of walking to a state building and doing this because this is more dangerous or this is less effective.
We have to mention not only government here, because we have the government services very digitized, and yes, we continue improving, and we improve, and new services appears in our application here, and it's a lot of people have been relocated to the east, from the east to the west. A lot of people are living in, a lot of Ukrainians living in the EU and other countries, and we have to stay connected with them. And that's why a lot of services creating. So, for example, the very recent service you can receive in India, the how to be in English, the background check already with apostille, so you don't need any additional notary services in country where you're located. So Ukraine will do it, and will do it immediately, fully in the digital way. So, and this is only one experience. So yeah, I can list a lot of them.
So can you list at least some very innovative solutions that you introduced in Ukraine that are typically your invention, that they are not taken from the West, for example, but you invented it and you introduced it as a precursor, the Ukrainian state?
No, it's our own custom vision, because actually I'm personally don't make some of this re-engineering of our paper bureaucracy, because I have all my own responsibility. But I'm get a part of it, and of course this is our own custom story, because we have our own processes in the government, and we are re-engineering it, how we can digitalize it. This is very important part, actually. You can't just wrote it in the code, because you will have the automated bureaucracy. We need to make it lower. So yeah, of course, we have our own results, so we don't have just a copy of some or other country.
Okay, so your own innovative solutions. So do you think that where the war hopefully eventually stops, Ukraine will be a better country to live, actually, due to your innovations? Because some say that in countries like Germany, the state is not very digitalized, so every time you need to go by person and do it in a state's office instead of online. So do you think that this is the field that will attract people to come back to Ukraine after the war hopefully eventually finishes?
It's hard to predict, to be honest, because we always have some risk. I'm as a security person, I always see a lot of risks, right? I'm a little bit professional deformated. But I believe that our results of our work makes Ukraine more interesting for Ukrainians, and not only for Ukrainians, actually, because after the war, after our winning, we will need a lot of investments, and we will need it, and we have a lot of opportunities for it. So a lot of jobs, a lot of projects, and to make this trust to our partners, to make Ukraine interesting for this investment, we must provide the fundamental of this trust, right? We have to provide some very transparent processes and so on, and I believe that work that we do right now, it's one more step to this goal.
Thank you very much, sir. It was very interesting conducting this interview with you. I was talking to Vitaliy Balashov, Deputy Minister of Digital Transformation of Ukraine. Thank you again.
Thank you so much.
And many thanks to our viewers. Goodbye.